This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to Asia Training Solutions. Today we are going to have performance engineering demo. Uh, Probably we'll wait for 1 more minute also, then we'll start our demo session. Okay. Hi. So we can start the demo session. So this is Saravanan. I'm going to take you through this entire course journey of performance engineering. So I have quite a bit of experience in this field. I know various tools, utility tools, APM tools. So I have experience with multiple verticals, multiple working experience with multiple customers. So what I will be doing in this course then is that like we are going to learn things and I'm going to share my experience, whatever I faced with multiple customers. So in this entire course journey, it will be kind of practical oriented training session. So without any further delay, I'll show you the course content, what we are going to learn as part of this course journey. So first of all, performance engineering introduction. Okay, first we should understand our. Am I audible, Shukla?
Yes, Sarvanan.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So first of all, we should understand what performance engineers are actually doing and what is their activities, roles and responsibilities, what you have to make yourself equipped in order to become a performance engineer. That is also we are going to learn in the introduction part. Okay, and as we all know, whatever the activity that we do, there is some life cycle activity will be there. Let's say if it is uh, development, software development life cycle. Testing means software testing life cycle. Even performance testing means performance testing life cycle. Like that, here also in performance engineering, it is performance engineering life cycle. Okay, so then in that case, we are going to discuss like each and every layer. Okay, requirement gathering, and then scripting, testing, and then production monitoring. All those spaces, what performance engineer will do. That life cycle also we will be discussing. And then activities performed by performance engineers. Because everybody will have that question. Where as a performance engineer I need to involve, where I have to focus on. Is it UI layer, server layer, DB layer, where I have to focus on, where I have to optimize things like that. That question will always be there for everybody. So we are going to discuss about those as well, like activities performed by performance engineers, like during requirement gathering, what are all the activities performance engineer will do. Scripting time, what has to be done. Testing side, what has to be done. For production monitoring side, what has to be done, like that we will be discussing each and every layer of discussions, and also what you can learn. Okay, say like what languages, what tools, what process, what has to be learned by the performance engineer. Like that, we will be discussing. That is the introduction part. We are going to discuss in detail what is performance engineering goal, what are all their uh, um, learnings, how they will become a performance engineers. Like that, we will be discussing. And then the next important concept is your Java performance engineering concepts. So you should be knowing the performance engineering concepts of JVM monitoring and certain other concepts as well. So for that, for the fundamental, you should be knowing JVM architecture, because inside that, what are all the components that are there? Okay, so you will be saying like class loader subsystem means what, or method area means what, heap area means what, PC register means what, jet means what, garbage collector means what, like that. We are going to discuss in detail about the JVM architecture. Okay, so because if somebody is asking a question, you should be in a position to reply to them like this is what is actually happened. This is the component. This is how it is working. Like that, you need to explain that. For that, at least you should be knowing the architecture. So that is the reason behind we are learning this JVM architecture understanding. So next one is JVM performance monitoring. Okay, so we will be learning two utility tools. One is JVisual VM and then JControl. Both are free utility tools only, which is inside the JDK folder. It is here. So you can use those two utility tools, JVisual VM and JControl, and I will be showing using those tools how you can analyze your heap, analyze your threads, uh, how you can in a real time you can create the load, and then you can understand like what is your thread status, what is your heap status, all those things we will be using those two utility tools. I'll take a pause here. Anybody have any question? You can ask a question. Okay. So while doing this activity, this heap dump analysis or thread dump analysis, whatever, we are going to learn things practically. That is very important. We are not going to only see any theoretical content and then move on. In this case, we are going to provide a practical understanding. So I'm going to share you a war file, which is a retail-based application. So for that application, we need to do the prerequisite, like we need to install Apache Tomcat server and then deploy uh, uh, your war file on top of it. So those local setup, the sample setup also we are going to learn, and through that sample application only we are going to learn this concepts, this thread dump or heap dump concepts, so that you will be having a better clarity. You can, because like in the real world how we are working, right? That kind of an understanding we are going to bring in, which is a practical understanding. So if somebody is asking, do you have experience in doing a heap dump analysis and thread dump analysis? In that way only we are going to learn things. Okay, we are going to learn things like a practical oriented learning. So through those two utility tools we are going to learn heap analysis and thread analysis. Okay, and then we are also going to do learning of one more commercial tool called your kit. Okay, your kit Java profiler, which is nothing but your kit Java profiler. So we are going to learn about that capabilities of that tool. okay, your Java profiler, capabilities of that tool, so that how in certain organization where they are not allowing these kind of a utility tools or open source tool to do certain JVM monitoring, you can use this kind of a commercial tool and then you can use it for your monitoring. YJP is actually a familiar tool only. Okay, you guys can use it for JVM monitoring, understanding your heap, thread, garbage collection, all those things you wanted to understand. It means you can use this tool. So that tool we are going to learn in detail with practical examples. Okay, through Eclipse, through this Apache Tomcat server, like that we are going to learn this. Okay. So next is actually your heap structure, JVM heap structure. Basically, we are going to learn about what is young generation, what is old generation, what is sperm generation, under young generation, what is Eden, what is survivor, what is minor garbage collection, what is major garbage collection, what is full garbage collection, how to configure your min size and max size of your heap, in what way it is impacting your minor garbage collection, major garbage collection, what is stop the world scenario, like that we are going to learn in detail about your garbage collection mechanism, Java garbage collection mechanism. So we will be learning through the understanding of how your garbage collection is actually working in Java. Okay. Post understanding of that garbage collection learning, we are going to understand different garbage collection algorithms, like serial garbage collection means what, parallel garbage collection means what, concurrent mark and sweep means what, garbage first garbage collection means what. So when we are implementing these there are arguments are there, JVM arguments. If you are adding those arguments into your JVM arguments, how your application is behaving. So for what application and all you can use serial garbage collection. For our art application and all you can use parallel garbage collection, like that also we are going to learn. Okay. And then you can learn about JVM thread pooling concepts, like what is core pool size, what is queuing. In that queuing also what is bounded queue, unbounded queue, like that. And we also going to learn about thread monitoring. Okay, like hanging threads means what, queue length means what, like that also we are going to learn. And JDBC connection pooling concepts, because something on database piece also everybody will be interested, right? So we are going to learn JDBC connection pooling concepts also. Along with that, we are going to have a detailed understanding of a JVM thread dump analysis. Okay, so thread dump analysis means what? But first we should know what is thread dump, and then life cycle of your threads, and various Java thread dump tools that are there, and how to capture in a different way, how to capture your thread dump, and how to analyze those things, like manually analyzing and automated way analyzing it, like that. You are going to take the thread dump analysis. Okay, that we are going to learn. I'll take a pause here. Anybody have any question till now?
Hello. Hi, this is Jayshankar here.
Hi.
Uh, 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 all this thread dump analysis, right? It will be on a practical session or just a theoretical one? What you're just
No, it is a practical. It is a practical session only.
okay? Because I have around 4 years of performance testing experience.
Okay.
I have not come across all those things. Like we just record the script, run the script, and give the output.
Hmm. That
But
is the reason. That is the reason it is performance testing. It is
yes,
not performance
uh,
engineering.
yeah. Like so many times in my organization, I have asked to others like, how do they do this? But
Hmm.
they don't give access to us.
Hmm.
So how it is going to work out for us?
So, Jaishankar, that is a role, Jaishankar. Performance tester means you should have certain limitations, certain privilege problem, all those things will be there. We are talking about a role called performance engineer. There is a
Okay.
job opening, there is a dedicated roles and responsibilities are there as performance engineers. Okay.
Okay.
So for them you cannot say we will not provide provision, permissions, access. No. For them, you need to provide all these things, then only they can do all those things. So for
Okay.
them, all these are required, Jaishankar. And one more thing also, you, your organization, maybe they are not aware that there is a role called performance engineer. Okay, and there are provisions to do all these activities. Maybe they are not aware of those things. Certain organization into the problem, and we need to educate them. Like there is options are like this, and you can optimize like this. These are the tools are available. These are the activities that we have to do. Like that, also we can educate. That is also a different story. Okay, so
Okay.
either they aware or you educate. Either there is a role called performance engineer or you promote yourself as a performance engineer. Either way, it is possible. Okay.
Okay. I have another doubt. Okay. See, always you talk about this JVM, right?
Hmm,
Java Virtual Machine, correct?
yeah.
Okay. So this performance engineering is just related to only Java applications or all the applications? Like if I do a
It
performance
is.
engineering for .NET, uh, Oracle, SAS.
You completed your question.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Okay. So this performance engineering is a ocean only. So it is not that only Java. It is .NET. It is Java. It is even you can do a front end engineering, or you can do a DB engineering. So like Oracle query optimization, or MySQL, or SQL Server, like that. It is to, but if it is ocean, don't think like I will not do swimming in that, right? Like at least you should learn swimming in small pool, and then you can try to do it in the larger area. So that is how this is actually a starting point for your performance engineering learning. Okay, that is the reason we wanted to bring in all the flavor. We added I hope if you are understanding this entire course content, we try to add something on server, something on UI, something on DB, something on profiling, something on utility tools, something on concepts, something on your capacity planning, like that. Only we prepared this course content itself. So it is a starting point. Okay, once you're completing this course journey, at least you will have certain understanding on certain topics. On top of it, you can build additional things. Okay, you can build, say, now I may be starting with JVM. You can learn with CLR. Okay, so CLR is nothing but your .NET. So now I started with Oracle. You may be starting with the MySQL or SQL Server. Now I am starting with the small utility tools. You can build on top of it with the different tools also. So, but what is we are trying to do here is to starting point of each and everything, and this will give you a confidence that okay, I know something now. I know what is client side monitoring, what is server side monitoring, what is DB monitoring, what is your profiling tool, what is your APM tool, like that. We are trying to bring a different thought process and then learning. So post that, you can also build on top of it little more conceptual things, little more things about .NET, or little more things about other concepts, like that we can build it, Jaishankar. But there always something to be started, right? Like there should be a starting point. That is what we are trying to achieve here. Clear, Shankar? Jaishankar?
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. You
Yeah,
can proceed with that.
yeah. Thanks for your question. So, this thread dump analysis also, what we are going to do, we are going to use certain commands online utility tools, and also you are going to do manual understanding of this thread dump and automated understanding of this thread dump. Like that, we are going to learn. Okay, we are going to learn these things. Okay, how to read and understand your thread dump, and how you will identify, is it a critical issue or is it a normal issue? How am I going to confirm that it is a potential issue? How am I going to confirm that it is a normal issue? Like that, we are going to discuss. And then the next important concept is your garbage collection analysis. So initially, in the previous topic, we learned about, we are planning to learn about garbage collection. What is garbage collection? We are going to learn, right? Next, we need to analyze garbage collection. So what we will be doing, we are going to collect garbage collection log. Say like how to add a JVM argument inside your server, and then we are going to collect garbage collection log, and then we are going to analyze. There is an online utility tool called GCEC. Okay, GCEC, and then there is one more tool called GC Viewer. So like that, we are going to use those tools to understand what is garbage collection. Okay, what is garbage collection, and we are going to um, get that understanding. If you are using so and so JVM arguments, how your garbage collection is impacting because of say like your min max size or your GC algorithm, whether we are getting more of minor GC, more of major GC, more of GC past 10, what is actually happening. That understanding also we will be getting it. This is also a practical understanding we are going to have. And then we are going to get the understanding of out of memory error. Okay, out of memory. What is out of memory? Okay, what is memory leak? What is out of memory error? And then what are all the different ways it is actually called? Okay, it may be called as Java dot lang dot out of memory error, Java heap space. Okay, Java dot lang dot out of memory error, unable to create no new native threads. Java dot lang dot out of memory error, perm space, like that. There are out of memory errors are there. So we are going to learn about those concepts also. Okay, once your JVM, Java monitoring, Java heap, Java thread, Java garbage collection, everything will learn. Okay, and then the next important thing is infrastructure monitoring, because many are actually not currently doing it, or they don't know how to do it. Even if I am going for any interview panel, so in the job description we will be specifically mentioning like you have experience with infrastructure monitoring or what. Okay, but many those who are attending the interview, no, they will say no, I don't have experience. My senior person only will do the infrastructure monitoring. I only do scripting. Like that, people used to reply for your question. They'll say, I only do scripting. My senior, my lead only will do the infrastructure monitoring and all. They will only do the analysis and all. Like that, they will reply. But the expectation is everybody should know everything in a single-handed way. Say if your customer is expecting only one person to be deployed for end-to-end performance testing, also I'm saying, okay, end-to-end performance testing also. That time we cannot say like no, this guy only knows scripting, analysis and all. Different person will come and do and all. We cannot say it. So it is obvious that learning this thing is very important. Learning what is infrastructure monitoring is very important. So that is the reason in this course journey, what we are trying to bring it is that like we are trying to bring the knowledge of Windows Server monitoring and also Linux server. Okay, Windows Server is nothing but Perfmon. Perfmon, how to create a data collector and then how to store the data. How will you read and understand what is mean by swapping and paging? What is Gates fault? Processor time means what? Private byte means what? Available byte means what? Committed byte means what? Virtual byte means what? Processor queue length means what? Percentage time in GC means what? Like that. Different counters. All these are counters. Okay. So except that swapping and paging, page fault and all concept, remaining thing is actually counters. So how we are going to understand these counters are actually actually working good or working bad kind of an understanding we are going to get in a real world exam. And then Linux monitoring. Okay, so at least in certain organization people are doing Windows monitoring. Linux monitoring is actually nobody is actually doing nowadays. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to learn about VMstat means what, netstat means what, iostat means what, top means what, ser means what. There is one utility tool called nmon. Okay, nmon, how to install, configure, and then extract the data. Right, that also we are going to learn. And through the nmon, you are going to identify CPU memory disk utilization. Is there any critical problem that is happening in the server? Like that, we are going to get that understanding. I'll take a pause here. Anybody have any question till now? Yeah. So in that case, we are going to learn about Windows Server monitoring and Linux server monitoring, so that when you are providing your report, going forward, it will be a combination of your tool level metric and also intra level metric, because intra level, say like your load is increasing, CPU is increasing, your load is increasing, memory is increasing, your load is increasing, thread count is increasing, your load is increasing, you have a disk read rate problem. Like that, you need to correlate your performance testing report with this infrastructure metric. Means in that way only you are giving the collective report. Okay, end-to-end report we are providing. So that is very important to learn the infrastructure monitoring also. And then the next important thing is your database performance monitoring. So for that we are taking one sample as Oracle DB. So in Oracle DB, actually in Oracle DB there is a inbuilt feature called AWR reports, automatic workload repository reports. Okay, we are going to see like how to generate AWR report, ADDM report, and ASH report. In that, we are going to understand about AWR report. Inside that, what all the metrics are there, which metric has to be what value. Like that, we are going to learn about AWR reports, and then analysis of ADDM reports also we are going to do. Identify, understand your DB problems through the AWR and ADDM reports. That is what we are going to learn as part of the DB monitoring. And then client side performance monitoring, that is also very important. Nowadays every customer is actually interested towards this client side monitoring. I don't know how many of them are hearing from your customers like the client side performance requirement. But as far as I know, in many organizations they are actually talking about these line items like what is your front end performance, like that. So here also what we are going to do, we are going to get understanding about front-end performance metric, what are all the common client-side problems will happen, and we are going to learn about browser rendering concepts, how it is actually rendering, and we are going to learn about certain tools like Chrome Dev Tools, GTmetrix, web page test, like that we are going to learn it. Okay, so and then we are going to learn about what is code profiling. Okay, already we learned one commercial profiling tool called YJP. This is also one of the commercial tool, Java Profiler. So we will be learning about what is code profiling, how to identify different performance bottleneck. Like that we are going to see. And we are also so though we are learning about these things, right? Now in the latest trend, latest in the market is actually APM tools. APM tools. So what we are trying to do here, like APM tool, we wanted to have one APM tool. So that is the reason we added AppDynamics as a tool of choice. So we will be learning about AppDynamics, which agents, what concepts, what is application agent, what is machine agent, what is user experience agent. Okay, like that we are going to learn. Okay, and finally we are going to see like how to analyze your production load. How will you get that understanding, and what are all the common CPU related problem, memory related problem, all those things also we are going to learn as part of this course. Okay, I'll take a pause here. Anybody have any question till now?
Hi,
Hi,
Adityam this side.
Aditya.
But actually, my company is using New Relic as a APM tool. I just want to understand that App Dynamics and New Relic are the same thing, or there are different ways to monitor performance of an application through New Relic.
See, both are different APM tools. Okay, but conceptually, if you go and analyze things, it is all quite a similar behavior only. But this tool capability is different. That tool capability is different. But knowing example, if you are knowing one APM tool, it is little more easy for you to learn another APM tool. But answer to your question, Neuralink is a different APM tool with a different capabilities. App Dynamics is a different APM tool with a different capabilities. Okay.
Okay.
Did I answer your
Thanks.
question?
Just one more question. We will be learning Oracle here, and same as New Relic, we are using Aurora DB, AWS Aurora. So fetching report and everything is same like Oracle in Aurora, or it is different?
See, that DB is having their own monitoring strategies. Okay. Here in Oracle, inside Oracle, you have an inbuilt capability called AWR. Okay. So maybe you can claim that all are SQL only, right? Yes, all are SQL only, but your capability of Oracle DB. Okay, what they are doing, they are trying to have this AWR reports, ADD reports available, so that it is like self-analysis and self-recommendation. Okay, that is how we are going to learn about this database tool. Answer to your question, in industry, lot of DBs are there. Okay, but in that where you have maximum exposure, maximum market share, maximum accounts are using, in that way only we chosen this Oracle DB. But it is a starting point, like learning this Oracle DB monitoring. Quite a similar features and behaviors will be there in other APM tools also. I mean other Oracle, other DB monitoring also. That is the reason we added Oracle DB. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure, Aditya. Thank you. Thanks for your question. So those who are interested to proceed with our course journey, you can reach out to Kumar sir. This is Kumar sir number. Okay, 808019952427. Okay, I'll repeat again, 8019952427. Okay, I pasted his number in the chat as well. And those who are not part of I mean, those who are not part of our WhatsApp group, you guys can put your mobile number in the chat so that I'll request the team to add it into the group. We are having a group running because we will be communicating through that group only. So this is actually more than 23 hours of a course journey, 23 plus, okay, 23 close to 25 hours of a session, and the same time slot. The time slot now we are learning, right? In the same time slot only we are going to have this course journey. It is a weekday session, weekday. Okay, weekday session. There is weekends leave. Okay, Saturday, Sunday holiday. So weekday session, and all these sessions are actually recorded. Okay, recorded, and then we will be sharing you a YouTube playlist URL, so that those videos will be there for you lifetime. Lifetime access will be there for you. So So all will be a practical oriented learning. We will be sharing those materials and contents through Google Drive. Through Google Drive, we will share all those things. So those who are interested to proceed with the further things, we can. We are we are we are planning to start our day one as early as possible, based on the request that we are receiving. We will be starting at any point of time. So those who are interested to proceed with this course journey, please reach out to Kumar sir. Kumar sir number is 8019952427. You can reach out to. Okay. Any further question, guys?
Hi, this is Jay Shankar again.
Yeah, Jason.
Do you cover this capacity planning here?
Not like how we are expecting. Okay, capacity planning is a very huge topic. Okay, it is like linear extrapolation. Actually, a lot of extrapolation concepts and all there in the capacity planning. But here, what we are going to learn is that like how your Google Analytics tool will be helpful to analyze your production load. Okay, and then how your log analysis tools that are there in the industry, how it is going to be used, how your AWS stats tool will be useful for your log analysis, like that we are going to learn it. Capacity planning as such, it is actually a bigger topic, but we will touch it. We will touch and then explain those concepts, Jason.
Okay. Some 8 months or 9 months back, one of my colleagues were telling we have done a capacity planning for the next 10 years, like how the server will act for the next 10 years and
Machine learning.
how much population will be there. So is that what
is,
will be covered?
No. That is actually machine learning, Jason. Okay.
Okay.
So nowadays people are doing this kind of natural processing data, training data. They'll have certain training data. Through that, they will predict predictive algorithm. They will be used. Those are all something different topic altogether. That is like Python, machine learning, those stuffs. Okay. Here we are going to understand what is happening on a particular access log and how to get that concurrent user or transaction per second or certain other understanding for your analysis, like that we are going to.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So if we do not have any further,
I have one question.
yeah,
Kiran here.
yeah.
Actually, do we cover anything like real-time production analysis, monitoring or analysis, and like you mentioned about some APM tools, right? So those are basically used for real-time production monitoring, or it will be like for a testing during the test infrastructure. We are just monitoring and observing the things.
No. So those are production monitoring tools only. We will be learning that practically only. So how agents are actually configured, how the data is actually coming in App Dynamics, like that only we are going to learn.
Okay,
Actually saying there are separate batches are running for that tool alone, but we wanted to have that in this course journey so that the people will get a end-to-end view. That is the reason we added here.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, one more question from me. Like, do we cover Splunk training as well?
Splunk is a separate content that is running in Isha. You can reach out to Kumar sir for further information. Separate course is actually running.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I communicated already, this is actually a weekday session, the same time slot, and any commercial related things you can discuss with Kumar sir. Kumar sir number is already displaying in the screen, and all these sessions are actually recorded, and we will be sharing the playlist URL for watching those videos. Okay. So with this, we'll probably wrap up for today's demo session. Thanks for joining, and have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.